This is day 2 of my Switzerland trip. I just arrived to Lugano, and I must say this is one of the most spectacular views from the train station that I've ever seen. Like, you get off the train and your palm, you're hit with an amazing view. You kind of feel like you're in Monte Carlo here. Very nice, very nice. I'm already impressed and very keen to start my explorations today. In this area there are lots of Italians that work here, live here. So for me in this particular moment it's absolutely impossible to make a difference between Italian and Swiss. Like, for me they're all Italians, but again that's not the case. So I think once you live here for a while, then you start realizing who's an Italian and who's a Swiss. So yeah, I'm still at that first stage where it's hard for me to, put together the puzzle.
The first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Switzerland in terms of culture shock, it's for sure the cost of living. The prices are extremely high most of the time, and even if you know that before coming to Switzerland, it will still shock you. I won't insist too much on this, as I prefer to focus on other aspects a bit less obvious. With that in mind, did you know that Switzerland is a multilingual country with 4 official languages? Yes, 4 and not 3 as most people think. Lots of people don't even know that Switzerland is a multilingual country, so they would be surprised to know that in Switzerland, German, French, Italian and Romansh are official languages. What I've noticed during my stay was that the German language is the strongest one. Even in Ticino they ask German in almost every role available, which went against me as I do not speak German. Long story short, even if you avoid the German Switzerland, you will still be expected to speak German.
This region where I am now, it's called Ticino, yeah? It's an area in Switzerland, it's the Italian area, and the architecture and everything is so Italian, has such an Italian feel to it, that I need to remember myself all the time: you are not in Italy, you are not in Italy. I keep having this impression that I'm in Italy. It's so hard for me to kind of accept the fact that I am not in Italy. I am very close to Italy and everything feels Italian, but it's not. Interesting.
You are probably curious about the 4th language, Romansh. Romansh is a Romance language which can be found in Switzerland's largest canton, Graubünden, located in the southeastern corner of the country. Only 60,000 people speak Romansh, which is less than 0.5% of the overall population. In an article, BBC Travel calls it Switzerland's mysterious 4th language. The language as such is the closest one to the Latin language and reminds me a lot of the Italian mixed with German.
Mein Name ist Guido Ratti, ich stum a Sameden, ich sum pensionò. Durante miei ultimi 30 anni se vendia studentes, ora feci la guida per la destinazione Samorezza in Gedina.
My younger brother believed that Swiss people are cold, rigid, not willing to help, who never smile. I, on the other side, saw many Swiss people smiling at me and happy to help. Couldn't this be then a reflection of our inner beliefs and preconceptions? Another culture shock for me was to see people swimming in lakes and rivers. In Italy, that's not a very popular activity, which might be due to the fact that Italy is surrounded by sea, whereas Switzerland has no sea-facing coastline. So if Swiss want to swim outdoors, it must be in lakes or rivers. A positive culture shock for me was to see that the toilets are for free. And given that I am a heavy traveler, that was excellent news. Fun fact is that Swiss have a great connection with cows. There are so many cows in Switzerland, and the funny part is that sometimes they transport the cows in helicopters. Weird, I know. And with that in mind, when you park your car and you pay, you don't get a ticket to put inside your car. Somehow they just know if you paid or not. You realize Swiss are not Italian after all when you get to the eating part. Now, what shocked me when I went to a bar and expected croissants and brioche, and I found none of that, I was so disappointed. Now, that experience made me love Italy even more.
On Sundays, expect everything to be closed. You can find some restaurants, some bars, some gelaterias open, but apart from that, like retail shops, food shops, everything tends to be closed. In terms of the public transport, everything runs almost as normal. So I took the train today, I'll take the bus. As far as I noticed, everything kind of tends to work almost as normal. Kind of tiring to walk here, so it's a good idea to take like the mini train, because this train station is very high, so it's kind of tiring to come here walking. When I came here, I really struggled to make a train ticket, so I'll try again and see how it works this time. It's not as straightforward as in other countries. Seems to be a bit more complicated, so I'm curious to see how it will work out this time. I eventually managed to make the ticket, but it wasn't easy at all. And I know how to make a ticket, obviously. I made many times, but here, for some reason in Switzerland, it's a bit of a struggle. Eventually I manage. I don't know if I need to do anything else with it. Whatever.
Thanks for watching. See you on my next episode.